abusive. Tried to get me pregnant, not knowing I was looking to take Plan B as the entire time. Joke on his buddy.
A lot of the time, the lie that is being sold to us is that these girls are fast, these young ladies are fast, these young ladies are trying to trap these men, they are trying to hold on to relationships, they are the problem. But the reality is clear for us to see. These men are consciously, are strategically trapping these women. They are doing this thing strategically because they want to hold on to these women. They want to have their clutches deep in these women so that they will have a constant source of supply. Because a lot of these men are narcissists and they are constantly looking for a supply source. And what better way of getting a supply source that you can consistently go back to tap into? And they see trapping these women with babies as a easy way to secure themselves a consistent supply source to feed their narcissism. Let's get right into the video.
At the time, my abusive tried to get me pregnant, not knowing I was looking to take Plan B as the entire time. Joke on his buddy.
Ladies, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. One way that a man tries to control you is by making you the mother of their child. Because then they go from chasing you to you chasing them. You're asking them for child support. You're asking them, why don't they do something for the child? Why don't you want to see him? Why aren't you coming with me to doctor's appointments? Don't you want to see the ultrasound? Why aren't you here for the gender reveal? Now, all of a sudden, you're the one chasing them, and that's what they wanted. They're going to promise the child they're going to show up for certain events, and they're not going to come. Not for the child, but because they want to hurt you. They think that gives them a lifetime of being in your life, whether you want them to be or not. Now you can't just get up and go. And they're hoping that another man won't want to raise his baby. These men don't want to be fathers. They want you to be a mother as punishment. It doesn't matter if they're broke or they're rich. They're going to tell you just like Offset, you my baby mama I want. Never let a man give you his baby as a souvenir. These are the kind of men that want to show up at midnight talking about they want to see their child. What they really want to do is see who you got in there at midnight. The child is their way to make sure that you can't just get rid of them for almost 20 years. The look of disappointment on his face is not disappointment that he can't be a father. It's a disappointment that knowing that you can't be a mother and he can't involuntarily stay in your life for at least 18 years. The best part about this video is that she called him her ex. I'm glad you got away from this man.
The bright side for me is that that man is now our ex, because that man is not going to just stop at one attempt. Yes, he might have failed in this first attempt. This may not even be his first attempt for all we know. But that man is going to keep on trying, because that's what these men do. They keep on trying and trying and trying until they get what they want, until they trap you. A hunter doesn't just stop hunting just because he is not able to catch a prey at his first attempt. He keeps on hunting and hunting until he gets the skill to be able to do it.
So, can you please go make the little icicle pad or not?
I'm not your fucking maid. Call the nurse. Don't ask me to do shit.
It's not about you being no maid. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if you can help me with the baby, and I'm sitting here with the baby, okay? I don't want to have to get up more to call the nurses to make my icicle, my pad, and you right here?
Yes. You gonna steady on me to get up this one. I'm not doing that shit. Hey, come here, fucking be a fucking maid.
It's not even about being a maid.
What is it about then?
I just want you to be here for me.
Asking me to do something. It's not up to me.
Because you're sitting right here, so I thought that it would be okay. But I need it done now. Why would I wait 5 minutes for them to come in the room?
You started shit. Stop starting shit. Stop starting shit. I told you, don't ask me shit. Don't ask me to do nothing. If you're not doing it, ask me to do it.
You just been here for no reason. You don't do nothing but sit and sleep on that damn couch all day. You don't get up in the middle of the night. You don't change no diapers. You don't make no
I don't got to. I told you, stop asking me to do shit. It's not my fault you can't get up and walk, so figure this shit out. I'm not doing it.
Okay. So I guess I'll just figure, yeah,
you don't have to do it. You don't have to.
In this man's mind, he already got her. He already has her trapped. She's going nowhere. Like, she's literally holding his baby. She just gave birth to his baby. He is assured that she is going nowhere. So he doesn't need to pretend anymore. He doesn't need to play the good guy anymore. He can let his whole rotten ass behavior show out in the open for her to see. Because in his mind right now, she is going nowhere. That's why he feels so confident to speak so rudely to the woman who just gave birth to his child.
That narcissist is sitting on top of the world too, but not for the reasons one may think. Not because they have a child coming and the positive experiences that goes along with childbirth, but they're happy because they got that motherfucking new supply locked the fuck in. That's one of the tactics that they use to lock a motherfucking in so that they can have their motherfucking way. They got that motherfucking new supply locked in by getting them pregnant. Lock they motherfucking ass in, so in their mind, they think that new supply won't go anywhere. Let the motherfucking games begin. Let the devaluation start. These motherfuckers are relentless when it comes to trying to lock in their motherfucking supply. And these narcissists will be strategic and be in it for the motherfucking long con. Yeah, she's sitting on top of the world at the moment, but trust and believe that shit is going to be short-lived.
I guess that the word narcissist and narcissism is overhyped and overused to the point of it even being misused. But when it comes to this situation, I think that the word narcissist and narcissism is correctly being used, because that's what these men are doing. These men are narcissists and they are portraying narcissistic traits. These men are literally acting as parasites and leashes. Yes, they want to leash onto this woman, get her pregnant, so that they can ensure that now that they have leashed onto her with their baby, that they have a consistent supply, they have consistent access to her life, so they can consistently suck her dry. They can consistently suck her dry of her energy and her peace of mind. This whole concept of what these men are doing by baby trapping this woman is very parasitic and narcissistic in nature.
Stop telling women to choose better men. Stop telling women to have better pickers. Stop telling women they just need to have a little more self-respect. Instead, start telling men to stop being such fucking liars and wearing a mask until they have a woman locked down. Here's a few stories about men who wore a mask until they had a woman trapped. My ex wasn't abusive until I got pregnant. We had been together for 9 years before. The wedding night, it was like a switch flipped. I knew him 5 years before getting married. 5 years of him pretending to be someone he wasn't. I married the perfect guy. I was heavily involved in social projects helping the vulnerable, and he was very much a leader in these activities. I thought he had the same heart as me. He was a minister too, such a holy man. All he ended up being was a deeply deceptive person that abuses his wife and children, but no one will ever know, as his mask is always intact in the public's eye. I was with my ex for 13 years before we had a child. You'd think he acquired a brain injury after my son was born. All of a sudden, he was incapable of doing the most basic things, but only in our home. 5 years and moving in together, his mask dropped the first week. I thought he was starting psych meds or something because of how suddenly he changed. My daughter's father was the most thoughtful, kind-spoken person I'd ever dated. When I was 3 months postpartum, I found him searching and adding a bunch of OF profiles and other things. My stitches and my body weren't even healed yet. He pressured me to have schmegs when I wasn't ready and chased me around the house while my newborn was in my arms until the neighbors heard me screaming and called security. After marriage and 2 kids and me providing 100% of the household income so he could be a stay-at-home dad, he announced that his orientation was polyamorous and that I was essentially discriminating against him and being bigoted if I didn't agree to an open marriage. I asked if he knew about his orientation before we got married, and he said yes, but that he didn't tell me because he thought I wouldn't understand. My ex pretended to be an angel. He also pretended to agree to my left-wing views. He started being rude, racist, and shared his right-wing views and said the N-word. He told me that he waited for me to be attached until he said racial slurs. Luckily, I left. How about instead of telling women to choose better men, you just tell men to be better?
What I've learned from the stories of all these women is that these men and society have always lied to us. Yes, these men and society will have us believing that marriage is beneficial mostly to women and having children is mainly what women want, and these men don't want children. That, oh, they don't want children, they don't want you pregnant, and that women are the ones baby trapping them. Women are the ones who are baby hungry, who are baby crazy, who are just getting pregnant on their own without the input of a man, trying to trap these men. It is a big lie. These men are the ones who benefit mostly from women getting pregnant, because let's look at it. These men have nothing to lose. Yes, they have nothing to lose. The whole process of pregnancy and childbirth, all of the stress, all of the risks, everything is placed solely on the woman. This man have no risks. This man cannot be trapped. This man can just up and leave. Even if he's married to you. I think some women feel that, oh, if he's married to me, he's like born to me and he cannot leave me. It's a lie. This man will up and leave. Part of the reason why it is women who file for divorce mostly is because many men don't file for divorce because they don't need to file for divorce. They can just up and leave. They can just up and abandon their family. They can just wake up one day, tell you they are going to grab some milk from the store, and you will never see them again. They will abandon you with those children. So it is clear that this thing is a lie. These things are things that society have conditioned us to believe as women, so that we will not have our guards up against these men. We will feel as if we are the threats, while in reality, they are the real threats. They are the ones trying to trap us with these babies.
So people baby trap you to make sure that they stay involved or have access to your life for damn near forever, pretty much. Damn near a tale as old as time, isn't it? Just like, well, we're about to break up. Hey, let's do it one more time for the road, all right? And then there's a baby on the way all of a sudden. And now that person feels like they have access to you for the rest of your life. Sometimes people will suggest having a baby to fix a relationship, which is absolutely insane. Like, if y'all are struggling to communicate, if you're struggling spending time together, if you're struggling just in general, adding a baby or twins or triplets will not help your relationship. Like, we're going to love this little bundle of joy together. That doesn't work right there, y'all. I promise you. It actually makes you go. It can actually make you grow apart. I can't even talk straight. I'm getting so flustered. Not all narcissistic people will try to baby trap you, but there are a lot of them will, y'all. I'm just telling you. I've talked to a lot of people who are on the verge of escaping narcissistic relationships, and all of a sudden they found out they were pregnant, or they send a text message from their narcissistic partner saying, "We're pregnant. Guess what? You ain't going nowhere. Gotcha." You see what I'm saying? This is my advice to anybody out there right now. If you don't have a baby with a narcissistic person, if you're watching my videos thinking your partner might be a narcissist, the inkling of the thought that they might be narcissistic, don't have a baby with it. I'm just telling you, it just makes your life so much harder. It just does, y'all.
This right here is the exact reason why, although I was happy that the first lady in the first clip had made Dama her ex and she's no longer in a relationship with Dama, but I am still cautious. Yes, I still have my guards up about the whole situation, because being an ex, I've never stopped this man. Being an ex, I've never stopped this man from plotting against women. That man can still pop up and be like, oh, for old time's sake, oh, because of the good old times, and before you know it, you will be in bed, and before you know it, 10 months later, you are pushing out a baby for this quote-unquote ex. So ladies, always have your guards up. Always have your guards up against every man. Yes, every man. Whether it be your current partner, your past partner, your future partner, these men are devious by nature. These men know that they have societal backings that will help them get away with the bullshit that they are perpetrating. So you as a woman, you know that the society is not backing you. we as women need to be extra careful in protecting ourselves and in protecting our wombs.
Guys, think about how crazy this is. When a dude traps you with a baby, he's not only saying you are obligated to this relationship in some way, shape, or form. He's saying you have to be a mother to my child, and you're somehow obligated to be a mother to me as well, because I know I can't take care of myself. Because if I could, I wouldn't need to obligate somebody to be in a relationship with me to reinforce my inability to do that. And before the guys go ahead and drop in the comments acting crazy, acting, women do it too, women do it too. Yeah, women definitely do it too. But patriarchy creates a system where women are forced to marry and connect themselves to a man for their own survival or sustenance of their lives. We are just coming into a period where women are able to build for themselves and create through their own conscious will. Not that it hasn't always been like that, but because society is just starting to recognize that after completely demonizing free women. So yes, this conversation is more heavily focused on the men. And yes, when you do look at this conversation with some depth, finally, you can see that men also find ways to depend on women, but then flip the script to make them look like some kind of rebellious, confident, like playboy, or some just like an identity that validates you being some traumatizing asshole and stopping you from taking the accountability that you need to take. So maybe if you can't make anybody's life better, you could at least just be a good human being.
If you find yourself pregnant for a man and you are like, oh, did I do something wrong? Was it my mistake? More than likely, it is not your mistake. It is that man's deliberate plan to get you pregnant and to trap you with his child. Either it be to slow you down, to tie you to him permanently, because let's be honest, we keep on saying that getting pregnant and having a child for a man ties you to that man for 18 years, for 18 years, for 18 years. No, that is not true. Having a child with a man ties you to that man forever. Yes, it ties you to that man even after your death, because that child is going to go on have their children, and then your children's children are going to see that man as their grandfather and you as their grandmother. So you are still tied to that man. No matter what, once you have a child with a man, you are going to be tied to that man forever and ever. That's how serious it is. And these men know this. That's why they deliberately try to trap you with their babies. And for all these reasons I've listed is why we as women need to protect ourselves, because no one is protecting us. No one is going to come and rescue us. No one is going to come and all of a sudden up in and rescue us. In fact, the protections that we currently have as women are being taken away from us. Reproductive rights are being taken away from women, even in America. And America is seen as the land of the free, the pioneers of feminism and of women's rights. But to my shock and surprise, even in America, even American women are being stripped of their reproductive rights and their rights and liberations as women. So who are we in other parts of the world, especially in developing parts of the world and more patriarchal parts of the world? This is why you need to protect your womb at all costs. Protect yourself. Thanks for staying to the end of the video. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you found it interesting, and also subscribe to the channel to support yours truly. Also, don't forget to check out the videos in the playlist right here. Bye!